get asked all the time, is solar worth it? Well, yes, the simple facts are. So when we look at the average size system that we install anywhere between 12 and 14 panels as an average size system. Yes, you can go a lot smaller, yes, you can go a lot bigger. But for this video, let's have a look at exactly what solar's worth to you as a customer. So that there will give us the kilowatt peak output from your system. So in ideal weather conditions, when the system's working at its maximum output, that is the amount of power that your system will be generating. However, your system is never going to work at its peak output all year round because of weather conditions, all depending on the orientation of your property. So there's a few factors to take into consideration. There is a formula that we use in the industry to work out exactly how much power your system is going to produce on your particular roof with your orientation of your property. So a 14 panel system will base this exercise not on perfect south, not on the worst case scenario which is east or west, we'll base it somewhere in the middle. So we'll base this system on sort of a southeast or southwest roof. Now obviously you're going to get a little bit more if it's south, a little bit less if it's east or west facing. So, kilowatt peak. On a southeast or southwest facing roof, your system is going to produce you 5,644 kilowatt hours of electricity over a 12-month period. So, what is that worth to you as a customer? Well, let's look at the absolute worst case possible scenario, is that 5,644 kilowatt hours being sold back at 16.5p through the sector. And my energy provider that I use personally pays me 16.5p. Shop around because some pay slightly more, some pay slightly less. The seg rates vary from sort of 2 to 3p with some energy suppliers up to 16.5p is probably one of the highest ones I know. There is another company out there that will pay you sort of 29p a kilowatt that you send back. Worst case scenario, everything's sold back to the grid or your energy supplier, you've got to get an income of £931. So what's the best case scenario? Well, the best case scenario is that your system generates 5,644 kilowatt hours and you use 100% of it. Extremely unlikely, very unlikely. But when you look at the average cost of electricity, again, I'll base it on what I pay at home. I pay 25.5p per kilowatt hour that I buy in from my energy provider. So, if I was to use all that energy at home myself, I've got 5,644 kilowatt hours times by 25.5 pence. So, best case scenario is that I use 100% of it. So then the system then is worth £1,439 to you. That's the best case. So at Go Greener, we've been installing solar panels since 2009, and we do monitor every system that we've installed. So the stats tell us, that we've gathered stats over the last 15, 16 years, that people are using around about 40 to 60% of the power that's generated off the solar. So it all depends on your lifestyle, whether you're at home all day, whether you're out at work all day. But obviously, with solar, to sort of maximise your returns, you want to be in a position where you can do your washing machines, tumble dishwashers, vacuuming, ironing during daylight hours to maximise your savings. But let's just say you're Mr. and Mrs. Average and you're somewhere in the middle. You use 50% of the power that's come off the panels, and then you sell the other 50%. So, what would the system be worth to you? Your system's generated 5,644 kilowatt hours. Divide that by 2. 5,644 divided by 2 will give you 2,822 kilowatt hours that you've used in the property. Times that by the rate that you're paying for your electricity. In this case, I'm paying 25.5p. So I have then saved 2,882 times by 25.5 pence. So I've saved £734.91 off my energy bills. I've saved that. The other 50%, 2,822, I've then sold that back to my energy provider and they have paid me £465 for that energy. 734 plus 465. So in year one, that system is worth 1,199. So that's based on year one. Now, obviously, as energy prices keep going up, your savings will get greater, and the seg rates go up as well. So year two, it might be worth £1,300 and £1,400 a year. Who knows what energy prices are going to do over the next 12 months? But £1,199 return off that investment, you're talking what? 12 to 15% return off your investment. You're talking around about a 6-year payback, if that, based on today's prices. So, where else can you get a £1,200 return off a relatively small investment? Stay tuned, I will be doing